Hi, this is Ned Siegfried from Siegfried and Jensen. As proud sponsors of BeliefCast, we hope you are inspired by Todd's weekly podcasts, which contain so many courageous stories of recovery and personal growth. Remember, it's not what happened in the past that matters, it's what happens in the future. We invite you all to work hard and be optimistic about your future. Enjoy today's podcast.
Hey everyone, this is Todd Sylvester with the Todd Inspires BeliefCast. Welcome to the You're OK Mental Fitness Studio. I would like to thank our sponsors, Ned Siegfried, Luke Peterson, and Todd Bradford with Siegfried and Jensen, Mark Richards with Wasatch Recovery, Colby and Mackenzie with Thread Wallets, Drew Peterson with First Digital, Greg Jackson with Mountain West Spine and Orthopedics, and Travis Whitaker, the owner of Living Recovery Interventions. And also, I'd like to give a shout out to Paul Cardall. The music that you hear at the beginning and the ending of these episodes is by Paul Cardall. He's an amazing person, and he's been one of my heroes for years. So thanks to all my sponsors and Paul Cardall for believing in me. I love you guys so much. Please enjoy this next episode. Hello, everyone. We are back. This is Todd Sylvester with the Todd Inspires BeliefCast. Thank you again for being here. Again, thanks for the sponsors that I just mentioned earlier. You guys are amazing. And I do appreciate all of you so much. If I could give you guys all a hug, I would, because we are helping save lives with this podcast, and it's because of you, because you keep sharing it, you keep liking it, you keep referring people to it. So thank you so much. Continue to do that, please, because the more we can get this out there, I think the more lives that we can touch and hopefully save and improve and so on. And it's also because of the amazing guests that I always have on. Today is going to be no different. Today we are joined by Dakota Mortensen. Dakota, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
This is I'm so happy to be here. Yeah,
no, it's good to have you. And you know, Dakota has quite the story. He's been struggling with an addiction, since he was 17 years old. He's now 29 years old. He had 5 years of sobriety, and we were just talking about this. He just recently had a relapse. I think he's going on 5 months right now since the relapse, which is great. We're going to talk about the relapse because relapse happens. We wish it wouldn't, but it does happen, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's always
unfortunately it happens, But you also feel like, it's been one of the biggest blessings in your life to going through this, which I totally agree with that. You started your own tile company a little over a year ago, and it's been really great.
Yeah.
But you want to give back. You want to help, maybe even open your own rehab and figure out a way to give back and help people because of your struggles. And I think that's fantastic. You also want to get your pilot's license, fly planes. You're also really into acting.
Yeah.
You were on is it called the
Island?
The Island, right?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. But like we said, he recently just had a relapse, and it was, he basically says it was absolutely terrible, and we'll get into that. But why don't we start, Dakota, with just tell us where you grew up and a little bit about your childhood.
Yeah, so I grew up in a town called Middleton, Idaho. It's about 40 minutes from Boise. I actually grew up on a farm.
Okay.
Now the farm
boy.
Yeah, so the farm I grew up on, though, everybody's like pretty surprised about this, but it was a pheasant farm. So my dad raised 70,000 pheasants a year. So it was like
interesting.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, you don't hear that very often.
No, it's so different, but it was it was a big, it was a lot of responsibility. It was a lot of so just kind of like worked for my dad all growing up, like ever since I can remember, kind of. It was just like always working for him, doing stuff.
Yeah, I guess typically when you hear someone they grew up on a farm, they learn the principle of hard work.
Yes.
Do you feel like that's one of the
absolutely,
things you learn?
Yeah, and like that's like how my grandpa was like that, my dad was like that. So they really, pushed that for us to be that way. Even when I didn't want to, I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I just remember on weekends, my dad would like come up like 6 a.m, something would go wrong. And I'd just be like, wake us up to go work. I was like,
Yeah, we got some pheasants on the loose.
Yeah.
We need your help. Get out here.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Do you have siblings?
Yeah, so there's 5 of us. So
Okay.
I'm second to the youngest.
Okay.
And I come from a great family. Like, parents are awesome people. Like my whole family's amazing.
Right.
So yeah, you know, it's like one of those things you kind of feel like the black sheep a little bit. You're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, right. Are you the only one in your family that struggled with addiction?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So what else did you do as a kid? Were you like into sports or anything like
yeah,
that? Yeah.
So I was a huge sports person. Basketball was my sport.
Yes.
So I was big on basketball, but I played like all the sports growing up, baseball. Basketball was the one though that I was like in love with. I was just obsessive with basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And I think from early on I could kind of see already like some of my, like I had very addictive tendencies just with things. Like I just like very hyper focused with if I like
all or nothing.
Yeah. If I'm all or nothing with something. And so at that time it was basketball. And so,
okay.
Yeah,
I can relate with that. Basketball was my passion. I was obsessed with it, all or nothing.
Oh, nice.
And we have similar stories. I mean, I lost a basketball scholarship because of my addiction, and you can relate with that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So you played basketball. So when did, I mean, maybe get into when you started maybe dabbling in drugs and alcohol or whatever that may be, and just kind of share that as part of your story with us.
So it's actually kind of just like funny how it started. Like I was at practice. I have really bad knees. So both my knees, like I had surgery on my left knee, but they used to just hurt all the time. And I remember I was in practice and there was a kid that was like working out. Like I just kind of knew everybody in my school. And I went over to get a drink and I was like kind of complaining about my knees. I was like, oh, my knees hurt. And he was like, oh, dude, take a pain pill. Like I have a pain pill. Take one of these. And like at the time, like I didn't know what it was. Like I had no idea. I was like, pain pill? Like what is it? Does it just help with the pain? He's like, yeah. So I like took it. I remember I went back and practiced and I had no pain.
Your knees felt great.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I thought it was a magic pill. Like I was like, this is the greatest thing in the world. Like I didn't feel high or anything, like I just was like,
the pain's finally gone.
The pain's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so right after practice, I text that kid and I was like, hey, whatever that was, like get me as many of those as you can. Yeah. And so, and he wasn't even like a druggie or anything. Like I don't even know why he had that, but like he was like, I don't really know where I could get them, but he's like, I know people that have surgeries like get them sometimes. So we like found a friend that had surgeries and went and got a bunch more. And the funny part is like the second time I used them, I snorted it. Was like the kid like brought up how he's like, yeah, you can snort these too and it like works faster. And it was just more of like a it was like in the moment of like you just think it's funny, right? You don't know like the consequences of anything. Like I was just like, oh, that's hilarious. Like we're all like scared to do it. And then I did it. And then I remember driving back home and that's when I experienced the first like feeling of being kind of high.
Yeah.
And the second I experienced that, I was like I loved it. Like it was like exactly what I felt like. I was like, like it just like meshed with me so well.
Right.
And then from there, that's kind of
was there a part of you at the time too, like knowing that even though this feels good, but it's also, this is kind of a slippery slope, or that it was bad, or did that not even cross your mind?
Didn't even cross my mind. Like I knew it was probably like weird, right? Like I was like, I shouldn't tell people I'm doing this. Yeah. But like,
so which kind of indicates you knew there was maybe something wrong. Yes,
totally.
With
it. Yeah. I definitely knew like what I was doing was probably like not smart or like good of me, but like I had no idea what could really come from it. Like I didn't know. And at the time, like pain pills were like, it wasn't so hugely talked about yet.
Right,
like, and so eventually I remember being in class and over the intercom, it was starting to get out of hand in our school.
Oh, okay.
And I remember them saying how hard it is to get off pain pills and like just some of the bad stuff that came with it. And I remember sitting there being like, oh no.
Are they talking to me?
Yeah. I was like, I need to stop. And so I tried stopping, and that's when I was like, I couldn't stop. Like, but I didn't know what was going on. I just was like, oh, I need to stop. And then nothing happened. I just didn't end up stopping. And that's when I was hooked on it.
How old were you when you took that first pill and that friend?
I was 17.
You were 17 years old?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably almost 18 around there. Yeah.
Right. And then, so from that point forward, you just continued doing the pills?
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. It's my personality. Like when I do something, I just like dive into it. And unfortunately, Well,
and for those listening, that's a pretty common thing for people who become drug addicts or alcoholics, is that a lot of them have this all or nothing mentality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which can be a good thing if it's directed in the right direction.
Yes, absolutely.
But very destructive
in the wrong direction.
If it's in the wrong direction. So did anyone know, I guess, when did things start to unravel, and when did maybe people start noticing something was up with you?
Yeah, so I always, this is like a blessing for me, but my parents, I smoked weed for my first time when I was like this is right around the same time as all this.
Yeah.
I got caught my first time ever smoking weed by my parents.
Really?
And in a way, biggest blessing for me, because it let my parents know right away that like I was kind of starting to dabble with this stuff.
Yeah.
And then, from there, they caught me again with like pills and stuff. Like, so like I was getting caught like right off the bat, and I look back on it and I was just like, that was meant to be, like, because my parents, like, just having them know and understand what's going on, like, it made it, I think, easier for them to like kind of be there for me from the start.
Right. But obviously at that point you weren't like, I'm snorting,
Yeah.
opiates.
It wasn't stopping, that's for sure. I had zero desire to stop. Well, actually, I shouldn't even say that. Like, part of me wanted to, right? Like, I was like, I don't want this now. But the other part of me was, I don't really care. The addiction works. It just like changes how you think and the process of everything.
Yeah.
And and then eventually it progresses. Everything progresses with it. Like, and then next thing you know, I'm like doing oxys, like, and then higher milligrams of oxys, and then I'm smoking it off tinfoil, and and the second I went to tinfoil, like smoking it that was like the second I really noticed my life to like go spiraling.
How many years later was that when you
That was probably not even a year.
Not even a year later.
Yeah,
so within a year, you're now smoking it off tinfoil. So keep going. Like, what did this all lead up to, and how?
Yeah, and so then I, the second I was like smoking them, and then at that time too, pain pills were starting, like oxys were starting to become very expensive, like on the streets. I never wanted to be a drug dealer. I knew that right away. Yeah. Like, I'd do it sometimes here and there, but it was something I knew if you get caught for that, you really get in trouble versus just kind of being an addict and getting caught.
Yeah.
And so
sure.
I could like, like I knew that in my head. So I was like, I would rather just be like caught being like an addict. And so, and another reason for that was I didn't like it at a point. It got to where I hated who I was. I didn't understand what was going on. And I liked spending all of my money on it because I was hoping that it would like tell me like, look what you're doing. Look how much money you are spending.
Yeah.
But it never stopped, right? I mean, I just spent every single penny I had on it. Yeah. Like I just worked so hard, have all this. It just, the second I get any money, it was just gone.
So obviously you're in your addiction at this point. Does family know about this?
Yes. Yeah. So my family knows, and my poor family, like they just, they love me to death. Like they just want me to be okay. And I couldn't figure it out. I could not figure it out. And it got to a point like I didn't go right out of high school to play college basketball because I wanted to try to serve a mission.
Oh, okay.
And so like, obviously that didn't work out.
Right.
So then I had to take a year off. And so that's where I really went downhill. Is right out of high school. I had this year gap where I was doing nothing with my life really, but like chilling in my hometown. And I just was right back with, hanging with the wrong crowd.
The same people.
Yeah. And so after that, I reached out to some of the schools that, have talked to me and stuff or offered me scholarships. And then I went out, and I went and tried out for them to try to see if I could get a scholarship again, And during this time too, I was not playing basketball anymore. I just
weren't practicing.
Nothing. Yeah. I just like gave up everything.
Yeah.
And so I got clean for maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks. I went down, tried out at like 3 schools, and all 3 of them gave me scholarships. It was like it was a blessing. Like it was just so weird, like for not ever touching a basketball for a long time again.
Yeah.
And so I did. I played at a school in Washington, and that was really exciting to me. I was like, hey, this is a fresh start. I was like, I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to start completely over. Nobody knows who I am, so like I can just be who I want now.
Yeah.
Got down there. My neighbor the second I'm moving in, comes over and brings up having pain pills and drugs on him. The second I got there, the day I got there.
Wow.
And the amount of times that's happened to me is insane.
You know, and this is important because I think we're going to get right back to that.
Yeah, you're
but
fine.
It's almost like why do people come and ask me to do drugs? I'm putting out this frequency, this energy that people can read. Mm-hmm. Like we really do. Everyone listen to this. We put out a frequency. Like if I'm thinking negative thoughts, I don't have to say a word. People know that I'm negative. They can just feel it.
Yeah.
So it's almost as if they could sense that this is the kind of kid you were, right?
Yeah, and even my friends will bring that up, like, because it's happened to me here, like, multiple times, and my friends are like, how does that happen to you? They're like, doesn't happen to any of us. And it is weird, like, because I don't even feel like I fit the part, right?
Right.
But, like, I will get that all the time still. Sometimes people will come up to me and just, like, randomly do that. But, yeah, it's so interesting. And so that was right out the gate when I got there. I held off for a little bit. That weekend, my roommates threw a big party. I didn't drink. I didn't do anything. I was still, like, really trying. I was like, I got this. And there was a kid that was, like, underage that got so drunk. I rushed him to the hospital. He almost died. Oh, wow. So it was really cool that I was, like, the only sober one. Yeah. And, like, I look back on it now and I was like, man, I was, like, really lucky I was sober and I didn't drink that night. Yeah. But yeah, and then I remember I was doing well for a little bit, and then I remember my teammates and stuff. They like we're all just like athletes are pretty big partiers. Like a lot of people, they just go hard. And common. I think they were a little afraid of me because they thought I was like a really good kid. I didn't drink, and I think they were afraid I would like maybe snitch on them, tell on them.
Right. Yeah.
So they were a little more distant from me right away, which. And it sucked because I was like, oh, if only you knew. Like, if only you knew what I was really like.
And at this point, you're not sharing that, hey, I used to be addicted to opiates.
No, yeah, I'm keeping it a secret because I was like, I just want to be different now. Like, I want to be this person. And it was just like, I could tell they weren't, like, connecting with me. Mm-hmm. And so then there was a party, and I went with this kid to it where all my teammates would be. And I remember, like, being like, okay, like, I'll show you guys, like, that you can trust me, like, type of thing almost, you know?
Again, like you wanted to fit in, so to speak, right?
Yeah, totally. And, yeah, I remember I just do what I do, and, you know, like, the next day, it was, like, an instant click for me. Like, all of them were, like, laughing so hard. They had, like, videos of me. You know, it was, like, yeah, and then, like, it was just, I hit it off with all of them, and then become, like, very close with them, and then, but for me, I knew that was the start of the second I do it. I'm right back in it again. And that's how it was. I just started partying all the time, smoking weed every day. And then I went through like a cocaine phase there for a while. And, you know, it's just doing all of those things, like, and being an athlete, like, you can't do it. Like, I remember I was in practice and, it was when I was starting to use cocaine for a while. And, just doing all the running, like, so much, you know, like it's just, it like wasn't working out for me. My body was shutting down on me, you know, I was like passing out, like, and then I just stopped going to classes. I stopped doing I just stopped caring about anything, you know, it was like, and then, eventually I like failed out, lost my scholarship, moved back home. And then, that's like where, and then I just went back home. And
so, part of that story I want to maybe touch on is going back to, like, when you said, hey, I'll show you guys, you can trust me. Yeah. And really again, I think this is a big thing for people listening to this is how bad we want to fit in. Yeah. Like, we want to feel like people like us so much that we will do things that go against our why we're here in our characteristics and our nature, right? Yeah. I mean, did you? I mean, obviously you probably didn't notice it in the moment, but again, that's what I'm hearing. Isn't that what was going on? Is like you really wanted these kids to go, hey, I'm part of you. We're teammates. We're this and that. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, and especially like going to a completely new place, right? I know nobody. I don't know one person there. Like, I'm just like a random new person in a new state. Like, I think. And, you know, I think probably it's worse for people that are like people pleasers, and
Yeah.
I can totally be a people pleaser. Like I don't like when people don't like me, and
Yeah.
I just, and I truly love everybody. So like that's an issue for me, is because I like people so much
Yeah.
that when someone doesn't like me, it like hurts me so bad.
Yeah.
And so I got to be careful with that, and I like
Sure.
realize it now sometimes. But
Yeah.
and so like at the time it was just something I knew I wanted with them. Like I was like, I want that like connection, I want that friendship with them, because I don't have anybody here.
Yeah.
And like I want that with you guys, and I want you to be able to trust me, because I'm not going to tell on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I felt like it was like my way of showing them, like, see, like I ain't going to snitch on you. Like
Yeah.
I can do this stuff too.
And as you get back into it, and you're back heavily back into it, did you ever was there thoughts where you're like, man, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah,
I should have
absolutely.
just stayed the course that I was on. Did you ever have those thoughts or feelings in those moments?
Yeah, those thoughts would always come up, like especially at this time, because I was starting to really see how it was affecting my life.
Yeah.
And it was weird how it all happened. And then I think my teammates started noticing a little bit. Right, they're like, "What this kid's doing cocaine?" Like, my teammates weren't doing that stuff. Like,
Yeah, you went from not doing anything to clear over
and then,
here.
Yeah, and then and then I'm getting pills and stuff too.
Yeah.
I'm just getting whatever I can, like, and so they, I think they even started noticing kind of like that I was like a little different with things. Like I kind of just, there's no ending for me. It was just kind of keep going, and they're awesome kids. Like I have, they're sweet. They're so good to me, but it is weird being in that atmosphere, because it's like it's hard to care about anything, or like you don't see how detrimental it can be for people's lives, right?
Yeah, right.
And unless you kind of experience or see people go through it, and then it's like a whole different ball game. Like now it's like, for me, it's like if a kid's wanting to try to drink, it's like, well, yeah, I mean, I get you want to try it, but you don't know what can come from it either now.
Yeah.
Like you have no idea. I mean, this could be the downfall of your life, like just from drinking, right?
For sure.
And it's so weird to me that that's how it can be for people, and that's how it was for me. Like just all it took was like pretty much one time trying something, and I was in love with it. I didn't want to stop.
Yeah, and think of the road it took you down.
Yes.
Because like you said, you don't see that obviously in the beginning. It's like, and that's why it's important that you and people like you are sharing their stories. Hopefully someone listening to this will go, you know what, I'm not going to go down that road.
Yeah.
I am not going to do that, kind of thing. And so anyway, you continue using, it gets out of control.
Yep.
You end up losing the scholarship. So talk about that.
Yeah. So I lost my scholarship, and when I lost my scholarship, I just remember it was like over Christmas break. I was back home visiting family. We were on like a break from basketball. I remember my coach called me, and he told me, and I just remember I just bawled my eyes out. Sure. It was something I worked so hard for, hard. I put every single bit of my heart and effort into basketball, and to just see that slip out of my fingers, and I knew what it was from too. Like that's what was hard for me.
Yeah.
I knew it was my addiction. And instead of it making me go probably the opposite way of like wanting to change, it just devoured me and made me feel so bad and awful that I was just like, screw it. This is what I am now. Like kind of, like I'm better at this apparently.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So and then so I just started using harder, and then I told myself I would never touch a basketball again, and I don't think I did for probably 2 years after that.
Really?
Yeah, a year and a half. Like I went a long time without even touching a basketball, because it just like hurt me so bad.
You were hurting so bad.
I couldn't even like accept what just happened.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, because again, basketball was your passion. Like you said, you're obsessed with it. You were all in.
Yeah.
You practiced. You worked your butt off. You got these. I mean, even though you were still struggling, you earned these scholarships, and then you lose it.
Yeah.
And now what?
Yeah. Now what?
Who are you now?
Yeah.
Because I would imagine, I bet your identity was, I'm a basketball player.
Yes, for sure. And that's what I think most people knew me for. I was always like kid, carry basketball around everywhere I went. Like everybody knew I was obsessed with it.
So what led to you finally deciding to clean up your life and get back on track? Did something happen, or was it the loss of scholarship, or was there other things that happened?
Yeah, so I had a high school sweetheart, and awesome girl, amazing. Like she was like first girlfriend I've ever had. I like don't date people. So she was awesome. I've known her since like forever. We like grew up. She was like pretty much my neighbor. I had like a big farm, but she was like just a couple fields away from me.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was dating her my senior year. We started dating. She obviously started seeing my addictions play roles and things like, it just started kind of getting out of hand, and I think she could see it. Like I overdosed one time, almost died. And so she was like seeing some of the side effects of like what was going on, but you know, she also is very naive, didn't understand it, right? You know, like most people probably shouldn't, you know, like they just don't know what's going on when they're like younger.
Right.
And yeah, so we like broke up for a while. She went to college somewhere. I was doing my thing, and then we ended up getting back together, coming back. And then I remember I've always loved acting for some reason. It was like a passion of mine. I love entertainment, anything that deals with just like, just people and stuff and just like making someone laugh, whatever it is. And I remember I was like, I'm going to get into acting. So I like looked something up. I'm in Idaho. Keep this in mind, right? There's like nothing in Idaho. Like, so I like go to this little acting thing, just like in this rundown building. And I sign with this agency, and they send me just national casting stuff. Like, and so I remember I hopped on there and I saw this like description, and it was like, are you feeling lost in your life? Like it had this description pretty much just explaining everything, how I was feeling.
Yeah.
And so I remember they asked to like write kind of what you're going through, blah, blah, blah. I remember I was like writing, and I wasn't doing it to truly apply for it. I was doing it almost therapeutically.
Yeah, it's like you're dumping your soul out.
Yeah, I was just dumping my soul out into it because I was like, man, this really hits for me. And I was just like, just pretty much being so honest about like how I'm feeling, what's going on with me. And anyways, and then I get a call from LA, and they're like, hey, we want to interview you real quick. And I thought it was just all a scam. So I was just kind of like going with it, like for fun, because I was like, it's a scam. Like I'll just like kind of like mess with them. Did an interview, and they're like, hey, I really liked you. I'm going to push you through to the next interview. And then I talked to another girl, and then like another person. And then they're like, hey, we're going to do a Skype interview with you. I did a Skype interview. And then after that, she was like, we're going to fly you to LA. And I was like, what?
Like,
I was like, maybe this is real.
Yeah.
Like, and then sure enough, they bought me a plane ticket. I flew. It was like and at this time I'm 21 or 22, 21. I've never even flown on a plane yet. So it was like, all this was so new to me, and I'm flying down to LA. They put me up in this hotel. It's a nice hotel. And then I go in this room with the casting director, and she's like, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to walk in this room. There's a chair in the middle, and you're just going to sit there, and they're just going to ask you questions. And so I was like, okay. So I like open the door, and there's like 30 people, and they're all the like, you know, the big high up people that are like doing everything. And then there's cameras and lights. A
little intimidating. Huh?
Yeah. And so like, I like walked in, I started like laughing, and I like, it went great though. Like I did really good. And I think they just kind of wanted to see how we handled like being on camera a little bit. And yeah, and then next thing I know, I'm like flying to Panama City and surviving on an island for a month. And I've never been to the ocean. I've never been to the beach, like, and I've never been out of the country. So like all of a sudden I'm just like, and it happened so fast. And at that time, like I was using still.
Still using.
Yeah, still using all the way up till the second I was pretty much on that island. And so I like, you know, was doing like pills and stuff. And so it wasn't smart, because then when I was on the island, I was withdrawing. And
you had to withdraw.
Yeah. And nobody knew this, right? So this was like something that was sucked, because I was really going through a lot of like extra pain and problems like out there.
Yeah.
But once I kind of went through them and I was starting to feel okay again, I remember being like, man, this is great. I remember not like as bad as I wanted to leave. I remember being like, I don't want to go home, because the second I know I go home, I'm back into this. And this is the clearest my mind's felt in like years.
Yeah.
And I was just starting to see things better. And I had like it was like crazy. It was just like a complete shift for me when I was out there, as far as mentally. And, you know, I told myself, I was like, I'm going to marry my girlfriend when I get back. And then that will also help, right? I was like, I'll get married. start fresh, and it will just like all these things will just
Sure.
help me.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. Got home, asked her to marry me. We got married, and second I got home though, I used, I think, within like a day or two.
Wow.
So
Did she say, like, when you asked her to marry her, did she say, you need to be clean, you can't be using? Was there any of that, or is she just kind of caught in the moment?
Just, kind of, I think, like, she doesn't really know what's going on.
Right.
I'm lying a lot, too, at this time.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, it was, I knew what we become master manipulators, right? Like, with everything, I knew how to portray myself as a certain way to, like, unfortunately. But, and so then we get married, and I start using again. I'm like sneaking a little bit. And then I like stop for a little while, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. We buy this house, and as I'm going to the house, there's a neighbor outside, and he was one of my old drug dealers. He lives right next door to me. Yeah. And my first interaction with him was he came up to me and said, "Hey, if you need anything, I got you." My first interaction, I was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Oh my gosh. Like, what? How does this happen to me every time?" And I told him, I said, "No, I'm good, man. Like, I'm done with that. I don't want that anymore." At the time, she was trying to be a nurse, so she was doing CNA stuff, so she worked nights.
Yeah.
So for me, it was hard, right? I'm in this house alone every night. And, it was just over a couple, didn't take long for my mind to just, that's all it was thinking about every night. It was like, I can just literally walk over there, get whatever I want now.
Yeah.
And
dang.
and then I was right back in it. And and then it switched from, oxys to heroin. And I was doing heroin, and a big switch is like, the cost of it, right? Like pricing.
That's why people do it.
Yeah, they switch.
It's almost
over.
like 100%. People go from oxys to heroin every time.
Yep, every time.
Yep.
It's like,
It's
what's the point? And it's similar highs, right? And it's so it just switched over, and heroin obviously just my life just kept going.
Were you smoking it or shooting it up?
Smoking it, yeah.
Smoking it.
Yeah, I did know well enough. Like if I shot, I just know myself, and I was like, I don't think I'd ever come out of that.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of always put that in my head. Like the second you do that, you're done. Like, but and then it just, and the sad part is like our marriage is great. Like we were best friends. I got along with her so well. It was just my addiction.
Yeah.
That was it. Like I just felt like I was all over emotionally, and like I could never, I don't know. And eventually I told her, I checked myself into a rehab. My family was like, "Hey, you got to do something or you're going to lose your marriage."
Yeah.
And at the time she was my everything. And so I just I didn't want to lose her. Checked myself into a rehab. It was a Renaissance Ranch, actually.
Okay. Uh-huh.
But there was one in Idaho.
Yeah.
But the guy from here, I think, started one down there. Jason Coombs.
Yep.
I don't know if you know him. Awesome guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I went there, and it was awesome. Rehab. I love rehab so much. They're like I wish I could just go to them all the time, because the amount I learned, how much time you get to focus on yourself. Like I tell people this all the time. I'm like people that get to go to rehabs, it's like you're so lucky, because nowhere in life do you have the ability to just have this time where
just concentrate on you. Yeah.
That's it. That's all you do.
It's
is
amazing.
you just focus on yourself, and you learn so much about yourself.
Yeah.
And I've always loved that, because that was something I didn't really know. I never understood myself well enough. And it taught me everything I needed to know. As hard as it was, like I learned about addiction finally. I understood it. I was like, I'm not different. A lot of people are experiencing everything I'm experiencing.
Yeah.
And that helped, just knowing that I wasn't alone.
So was your wife supporting you while you were in
she
treatment?
was. Yep.
Okay.
And so I was doing my thing. Eventually I was there, I think 6 months, 7 months, and I relapsed a couple times in there. I made it like 3 months relapse. Made a little while relapse, and then the last time I relapsed was with another client, and that client told on me, and I got kicked out. It was like one of the rules, right? You can't use with other clients. And yeah, it was dumb of me. I'm like, I look back, I was so sad, but because I loved it. And then when I got kicked out, she didn't know because I was doing outpatient, so I was still living with my wife. But so then I didn't tell her I got kicked out, so because I was so scared to tell her. Yeah, and I wanted to get help, so I was like, I got to get back into a place somewhere. And I was trying to find another place, they're expensive, it costs a lot. I didn't have I didn't have any of these like resources to where I felt like I could even get the help I needed or probably knew what I was doing, right? And so she didn't know about it, and then I started using again. And then I was like lying to her where I was going, right? I would be like, hey, I'm going to class or I'm going here. Yeah. I was really just going out and using. And then there was this is where everything shifted for me in my life. It was Christmas Eve. We went to a movie with my family. We came back, and when we came back, I had a friend put drugs in my mailbox so that I could have when I got home. So I got home, she went in another, to get ready for bed and stuff, and I went in another bathroom, and I snuck out, grabbed the drugs, went in the bathroom there, and I was using. I found this out later on from her. She was in the bathroom, and she had this, crazy feeling to grab a key and come and unlock my door. And she unlocked the door on me using, and her seeing, it was just it was I don't even know how to explain it. It was just so, traumatic. The look that we just stared at each other. And that was just a tipping point for me. And the worst part is I had zero feelings. I remember not caring. I couldn't cry. I didn't even care. And that's when I knew. I was like, I didn't even feel like I have a soul.
Yeah, something's wrong.
Yeah, something is wrong with me. Wow. I just remember, I wanted to cry. I wanted to feel these feelings, and I didn't have any feelings. I was just numb, so numb. And she, locked herself in the room, called my family. My brothers came and picked me up. And I remember driving home, and I was going to just open the door and just jump out because I was just I just felt like I was just screwing everything up. I just felt like such a burden to everyone. Yeah. Right. And, but right before all of that happened, I remember saying a prayer, and I wasn't, religious at this time or anything. I didn't even know if God was true. I was just kind of all over the place with everything. I mean, yeah. And I said a prayer. I had this was the next day. So the day before, I had a cousin that I've met maybe a couple times, and I remembered he was a recovering addict, and he reached out to me and just sent me, I don't even know how he got my number. He sent me a scripture verse, and it really hit for me. And then I remember thinking, I remember my family telling me he was a recovering addict, you used forever. So I told him hey, I need help. I can't remember what I texted him back, but he called me, talked to me on the phone, and I kind of told him what was going on. And in my prayer, though, the only thing I asked God was I said, I need something to happen, and I don't know what. Yeah. And then that next day was when all of that happened. Oh, wow. The next day, all that happened, and I just lost her. I moved in with my parents. She came over, told me, hey, I'm going to divorce you. It was just crazy. It was so much for me. I couldn't even bear it. And and then so I'm and then he knows what's going on. He's like, hey, I can get you. He worked for a rehab, so he was like, I can get you in to rehab for free. Yeah. And he's like, I'm gonna come pick you up in 3 days. And it was just, it's crazy. And then next thing you know, I was and then I had this point where I was like, I'm gonna just kill myself. I was like, I'm gonna overdose because I'm just sick of this. I can't handle this. And the second I just felt like I lost her, it was like I lost everything. I have no purpose anymore is what it felt like. And so then I even went out, bought drugs. I was gonna shoot him up, and then I had just an urge to I was like, one more time. We'll try one more time. And when I went back down there, or when I went to rehab, he came and picked me up. I remember praying to God, and I said, okay, God, I'm going to do everything that everybody's ever told me to do, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to pray. I'm going to read scriptures. I'm going to do all these things to prove to you that you're not real. You don't exist. You're not here for me. It was like my way of being like, if you're not here for me now, then I'll know that this is, there's no point in me being here anymore. Right. Like there's no point. The second I told myself, I was like, if I do it, I'm going to do it legit.
Yeah, right.
I put my whole heart into it. I was reading scriptures all day. I would pray like 12 times a day. Right. And just instantly, it was amazing. It was the craziest experiences of my life. And I like look back on that, and I was just still like blown away by that. And I remember after having all these crazy experiences for me, I remember like praying to God, just being like, I can never deny you again. You know, like, wow. Yeah. Yeah, it was just like, sorry.
No, don't be sorry. You're good.
Yeah, it was just like a really cool experience for me, you know, and
wow.
And I feel lucky because a lot of people don't have those experiences with it, like, you know, that traumatically with it, you know, and like,
right.
And that's where sometimes I feel blessed, like going through so much hard things. Sometimes you do have such a better way of looking at life or seeing these truly big blessings that happen for you, you know? And that's kind of what it was like for me. Like my faith in God is so strong, and, you know, and it's just, I feel lucky to have that. 'Cause, you know, a lot of people don't have those experiences, or, you know, they just,
right.
And so, yeah, it was it brought me back to God and restored like just having a relationship with him. And, it's game changer for me. It's like really been good. And I noticed the second when I stopped turning to him and, you know, doing some of those things I know that helped me.
Yeah.
I noticed my life drastically changing.
That's an amazing story. I can relate to it on so many levels, and a lot of people listening to this can totally relate with you on that. I mean, addiction is no joke. It takes everything from you. Mm-hmm. You know, your love of basketball, your wife, eventually that had to go away. I mean, and I could see why you got to that point where, you know, I don't want to live anymore.
Yeah.
That's tough, and I feel for you. But you know, you even said it, we said it in the beginning, that all of this has been such a big blessing at the same time.
Yeah.
As hard as it's been, you can see it now as you're grateful for it, correct?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's like, and that's what I love. Like, and I tell people this all the time. I'm like, man, like anybody who's going through a really hard time, I try to tell them this because I truly feel this way. But like in the moment, yes, it may feel like the end of the world, like nothing will change or get better, but it could be a year from now, whatever. This moment, this experience, depending on how you handle it, can literally be the biggest blessing for you in your entire life. The amount of knowledge you can learn from it, or, you know, just, and for me, I mean, it just, I would not be who I am today without these things, because it just changed how I view humans in general. I look at every single person now so different. Like I cannot judge someone at all anymore. Like it's weird. Like I like everybody's going through so much, and I just realizing that now, and knowing that so many people can change and overcome stuff, because you see it all the time in rehabs, right? Like you're seeing these broken people that you feel like, you know, that people look at and with such negative thoughts all the time. When you're seeing them on the streets, you're seeing them wherever, and people are just viewing these people in this negative light constantly. Seeing one of those people come out of it and become this amazing person that has like so much potential, it restores so much faith in humanity, right? You're like,
for sure,
everybody has the ability to just be this amazing person if they want to. Yeah. And, you know, it might, you know, sometimes it does happen or whatever, but like everybody has it in them, I feel like. Yeah. And so that's, I don't know, I just love that. And
that's beautiful. Yeah. That is beautifully said. It kind of goes with the question I was going to ask you anyways, but I'm still going to ask it. Yeah. If there's someone right now, Dakota, listening to your voice, they're listening to this story of yours, and they're struggling, and they're in a dark, dark place, what could you tell them right now that would help them? Obviously what you just said was beautiful, but what could you add to that? Yeah. To that one person? Yeah. I feel like, man,
to just remember that for me, I have these moments still, like where I'll have these really dark moments, and it happens to me frequently sometimes. And I really have to focus on understanding myself and what's going on. But just when I'm in those dark places, to remember that it's not permanent. It doesn't have to permanently be that way. Like, eventually things can get better, and it will get better.
Yeah.
And just having that mind frame of knowing that, like, don't give up on it. Don't give into it and think this is just it. This is how my life's going to be, this feeling or this place that I'm in. No, like you can literally change that at any time. Like, you can work towards these things, or you can get out of that place and you can become a happy person. You can become, a great person.
Yeah.
And I think just knowing that you have to just have some form of, belief in yourself that you're a good person. Everybody has it in them. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. And, cause that's, I do that a lot. I'm really, really hard on myself, and, I struggle with self-love and different things like that. But I don't know, just, you have to just make sure that life can be great. You can have a good life, and you can get out of that dark place. It's not permanent.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks for that advice.
Yeah.
That's good advice. Yeah. Your story's incredible. Like I said, very relatable to me because of basketball.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Losing that. Yeah, it's interesting.
That's
we
wild.
have kind of a similar story.
Uh-huh.
But those listening, addiction is no joke. This is one of the reasons why I do this podcast, is I want people who are struggling to go get some help, and no matter where you go. And if someone wanted to reach out to you, Dakota, and ask you a question or get some advice from you, what's the best way for someone to reach out to you?
Yeah, you could, my Instagram is Dakota_Mortensen, and DM me. And the cool thing, I do TikTok and different things like that for fun.
Yeah.
But I love trying to post like funny content, make people happy a little bit. And then I like posting, about recovery stuff. And so, I just posted some recovery things, and they've done really well on TikTok, and I'll get messages all the time.
Yeah.
And I love it. I enjoy it. This is everything that I want. I love truly helping people. I want to be there for people. So never feel like you're, disturbing me or being a burden to me. Maybe sometimes I take a little bit to get back to you, but I truly love it. And if anybody needs anything from me, like, reach out to me and I'll help you in the best way I can.
Yeah.
I'd love to be there for you. Yeah.
Wow. Love that. And I encourage you guys to reach out to him and ask him a question. If you're struggling, or if you have a friend or a family member who's maybe in a dark place, reach out to Dakota and ask him a question.
Absolutely.
I'll put your contact information in the show notes so people will be able to link right to it once we go live. And but I can't thank you enough for taking some time to come share your story with us.
Yeah, thank you. Like I said, I truly feel so lucky to even be here, and so I thank you for giving me this opportunity. This is awesome.
100%. No, best of luck to you, and anything I can do to help you in your future, you please let me know. And so everyone for tuning in, thank you as always. I love you guys. If you have a friend or a family member struggling, send them a link to this episode and let them listen to Dakota's story, because it will be very inspiring and, if anything, relatable. And that's what I love about your story, because I think people can relate with the struggle. Like you said, everyone's going through something.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be addiction.
No.
But this will still resonate on those. So please reach out to them. Share this with everybody. Thank you for all the support and the love and the good reviews and and subscribing and all that. You guys are just so fantastic. And to my sponsors, one last time, thank you. You guys are amazing. Again, the music you're listening to at the beginning and ending of this is by Paul Cardall, one of my heroes. He's probably the best pianist in the world, and I love him. So anyway, Dakota, you're the best. Thank you for your time today, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. There you go, folks. Till next time.